As a recovered shopaholic, I wish I knew this earlier, that you're not healing your inner child with retail therapy or budol shopping. You're actually doing the complete opposite. Because now that I've overcome my shopping addiction, I can tell you why and what you need to do instead that truly heals your inner child so that you could finally break your unhealthy spending habits for good. Let's get into it. So if you once told yourself that I'm healing my inner child by giving into that impulsive purchase, giving into that sale, giving into that limited edition item, I'm about to break your bubble. Because it's not doing that. You are not healing your inner child by giving to all your wants, thinking that it will satisfy you. No. I have the guts to tell you that because I have been in that exact place when I've hoarded so many things that I was quote-unquote deprived of as a child. Like, I thought that if I finally have that huge makeup collection, that complete skincare collection, or that pile of clothes that I've always wanted to buy for myself because I couldn't afford it before, I didn't have enough allowance. So now that I'm earning, I'd be able to afford all the high-end makeup skincare that I could afford and know that it will finally satisfy me because it's something that will give me that sense of fulfillment that I could finally afford it. No, it didn't do that. It actually just fed into my shopping addiction even more, wanting to buy the next thing because I finally have it in this color, I finally have it with this variant, and then I want to buy the next thing. So is that really healing your inner child if you're constantly wanting more and more, chasing the next big thing, the next big sale, but not really being satisfied? I've learned that healing your inner child is not about giving into all your wants, giving into retail therapy or budol shopping. It's actually doing the complete opposite. Because if you're not truly satisfied at the end of the day, if you're not truly living your best life, if you're not truly improving your quality of life, if you don't really have that sense of fulfillment and freedom in your life, is that really healing you? To further explain this, my analogy here is like giving a tablet to a child as a distraction to suppress their feelings, which may work for a while. The child keeps quiet, the child behaves, the child does the thing that you want the child to do. But we all know that's just a temporary band-aid solution. What the child really needed was to have their feelings validated and acknowledged, for them to understand their unmet needs that they need to communicate, or simply feel seen, heard, and listened to. Similarly, retail therapy, shopping, is not healing your inner child. It's just a mere distraction from your unmet needs that you're refusing to confront. So what truly heals your inner child is satisfying your real desires and needs that you've been suppressing for far too long. I hope that really sinks in, because this is the contrast, the difference that I wish I knew earlier, because we've been confusing the two, that we think that suppressing our inner child is the same thing as satisfying our inner child. So let's break it down. The difference between satisfying and suppressing is the key difference in finding out if the purchase you're making, if the decision you're making is actually healing your inner child or doing the opposite. As a money mindset and life coach, I've seen how crucial it is to understand the difference between suppressing versus satisfying your inner child. If you're suppressing your inner child, you're using shopping, impulsive buying as a unhealthy coping mechanism to suppress all the dreams that you want, to suppress all the feelings that you have, to refuse to confront the problems that you have at the moment. And you use shopping to mask your negative emotion, to mask the deeply rooted negative emotion that you have around money. You use shopping as a way to mask your true feelings. You use shopping as a way to bury down the biggest dreams that you've always wanted, the biggest dreams that your inner child has always had in you, but you're refusing to resurface it. You're refusing to confront it. You're refusing to bring it up to the surface. That's what happens when you suppress your inner child. You suppress your inner passions. You suppress the dreamer in you. You suppress all the feelings that you needed to bury since you were a child. So you're using shopping as a coping mechanism because you don't want to face those feelings. You don't want to face the feeling of hurt, neglect when your parents clients didn't seem like they honored your needs, or you keep trying to bury all your passions because you were told that you can't get paid doing what you're passionate about, or you bury those feelings of resentment towards your parents, towards the people around you, by shopping. So, because isn't it so much easier to get that feeling of instant gratification, that feel-good feeling from shopping, instead of confronting your real feelings, your real emotions that you've actually been trying to suppress and bury for so long? So that's the truth. Shopping, retail therapy, is actually suppressing your inner child. You're suppressing your inner child's emotions. You're not listening to your inner child who had those feelings and desires and needs that were not listened to. This is literally an example from one of my clients when she realized, like, I've been putting aside the dreamer in me. I've been suppressing the dreamer in me who wanted to start her own business, who wanted to go full time in her business by, okay, let me just buy food when I'm stressed from this job I don't like. Let me just buy stuff so that I feel good that I'm earning from this job I don't like. So she's using shopping as a coping mechanism so that she could bury the dream business that her inner child would have wanted for her. I'm getting real deep with you here because this is something that nobody is talking about, and this is only something that I have seen in my experience recovering as a shopaholic, and have coached so many Filipino professionals who have been in the same rock bottom with their unhealthy spending habits, and what has actually freed them from their cycle of impulsive buying, freed them from money anxiety and financial pressure. Another client of mine who has been suppressing her inner child that was causing her shopping addiction was when I helped her dig deep and get into the root cause of that. It's actually because she's afraid to confront the shame of how she grew up. She was scared to let people know that she actually grew up poor, that she didn't grow up in this high-level status that her friends also have, that her colleagues also have. So she was using shopping as a way to mask how she grew up. She was using shopping to bury that shame because she didn't want people to know that she grew up poor, that she wasn't in the same level as these people. And so she was using buying clothes, buying beauty products as a way of letting others perceive her in that higher status, letting others perceive her in a way that she comes from a wealthy background. But in reality, what she really needed was to confront the shame that she was feeling on why she felt shameful about growing up poor, why she felt shameful about her relationship with her parents because she wasn't able to get the things that she hoped she wanted as a child. And so I was able to guide her in really confronting those feelings that she wanted to feel as a child because she didn't have the opportunity to do that. As a child, we suppress these feelings of shame, feelings of guilt, feelings of anger, feelings of hurt from our parents, from people of authority. And so now as an adult, the real work that we need to do is to confront these feelings that we have been suppressing, because that's only when we can break these unhealthy spending habits. Because these beliefs and thoughts that we have around money, these beliefs that were ingrained upon us since we were a child, when we uncover that, when we really bring that to the surface, that's only when we break the cycle. That's only when we create a new generation and break away from the unhealthy spending, the unhealthy money beliefs that have been passed on from generation to generation. Then my client realized that healing her inner child is not really about earning more and earning more to buy everything that she wants to heal her inner child. No, it's actually, she realized that because she was able to feel those feelings of shame and guilt that her inner child just needed to feel and needed to be listened to, that's only when she realized, like, actually, my upbringing is preparing me now to work hard in earning enough to live my version of my dream life, earning enough so that I could also help those in need, so that I could earn more and help charities and help those less fortunate. Like, that's when it clicked. Like, that's what's really going to heal her inner child, not the constant shopping, not the shopping addiction, not buying all the things that she ever wanted. You only truly satisfy your inner child if you awaken those dreams and desires that you've just been buried, that you have been burying for too long. This is the real work that I do with my clients, is to hold that safe space for them to really dream again, to vocalize their inner passions, that to awaken that dreamer in them that has always been there. They just need to listen to it. They just need to listen to that inner voice, that whisper, and make it into a speaker instead of a whisper, And only when we have that container to open up, to be vulnerable, to vocalize the things that have been buried at the back of our heads, that's when we only truly satisfy and listen to our inner child and have that true sense of freedom, true sense of fulfillment and satisfaction and contentment for our lives. It could be finally listening to your inner child's passions so that you could finally completely pivot in your career, that you're actually paid doing what you're passionate about. This is exactly me. This is the reason why I was constantly in shopping mode, impulsive buying mode, while I was yo-yo saving, was because I kept burying that dreamer in me, who wanted to be a full-time content creator, who wanted to be a full-time entrepreneur, who wanted to do something that actually creates real impact on people. That's what I really wanted to do. That's what my inner child kept telling me, but I kept shutting that part of me, that inner child in me, by shopping, by buying all the material things, thinking that, oh no, this is what satisfies you. That's why you need to stay in that corporate job. That's why you need to stay in that career path that is accepted by society. Don't do anything that's unconventional. So I just kept shutting up my inner child. Shut up, go inside your room, don't talk to me, because I cannot do that. That's too impractical. I have responsibilities. And so isn't it just so much easier to just add to cart and check out? But when I finally gave myself that space to reflect and pause and step away and talk to a mentor and ask for support and be surrounded by like-minded individuals who are pursuing their own business, who are on the same path as me, it normalized in my brain and satisfied that inner child in me, it's okay to dream again. It's okay to want things that you've always wanted. That's when everything shifted for me. That's when I realized this dream of waking up to a life where I have freedom and meaning, where I have fulfillment, having a business that creates impact and I get paid doing what I love, that desire is so much bigger than any other thing that gets delivered to my door. It failed in comparison. And so that naturally just allowed me to see that, all those things, the impulsive buys, the sales, they were just a distraction from what I truly wanted, from my biggest dreams. That's why naturally when I coach my clients, we get deep into their career, the things that they love, the desires that they want, the lifestyle that they want to wake up to. Because when they get crystal clear on their big picture vision and mission for their life, all of a sudden, all these small rewards, all these sales, and all these budol finds suddenly just feel like noise. Suddenly seem so blah. Suddenly seem so boring, and they lose the urge. Because, I compare it to going back to my analogy earlier, when you give the tablet to a child when the child is acting up, the child may shut up for a while and behave the way you want it to. What the child actually needed was maybe for the parent to sit down with the child and talk to the child and have undivided attention and maybe embrace the child. Listen to the feelings. Listen to what the child is going through, what the child is trying to understand, what her feelings are saying, what her unmet needs she needs to communicate. That's a nice way of putting it. So instead of giving yourself a tablet to distract yourself, maybe it's about time you sit down with your inner child, face to face, and be real with yourself. Be real with yourself with all the feelings that you need to feel, all the emotions that you've been burying, and all the unmet needs that you just need to confront now. That's why I love dedicating 2 to 3 sessions with coaching my clients, for them to get comfortable in dreaming again, to sit with their inner child who just needed to be heard, who just needed to feel, who just needed to be listened to. Because from there, that's when they get crystal clear on their goals, on what truly they want, what truly are the goals and milestones that give them lasting happiness, lasting freedom, lasting satisfaction for their lives. When I guide them with that crystal clear vision, then we get into, okay, let's map out a tailor-fit financial roadmap and system so that you can see that you can be both passionate and practical in pursuing these dreams into reality. From there, I've seen it all. I've coached clients who have been deep into their shopping addiction. I have a client who was spending thousands and thousands in diamond jewelry. I have clients who constantly give into sales every time there's a mid-year sale, 99, whatever type of sale. They always hoard a lot of clothes. I also have a client who got deep into credit card debts because of impulsive purchases. And this is what finally worked. All of a sudden, when they get crystal clear on their vision, when they get crystal clear on their real desires and dreams, it becomes natural for them to save consistently, to spend purposefully, to spend joyfully, while knowing that they can enjoy the fruits of their labor now, while feeling secure about funding their future goals and dreams. Let me tell you, this is what truly frees them from money anxiety, from financial pressure, from their unhealthy spending habits that have been passed on from generation to generation. This is the long-term solution that you've been looking for. Because don't you owe it to your inner child that you finally get to satisfy her real desires and be the one to break that cycle for good? So if you want to finally break that cycle and be guided with tailor-fit support as your coach, so you could finally build healthy spending and saving habits so that you could fund these major life milestones, these major dreams, your biggest dreams in your life before this year ends, then I invite you to join my coaching program, Fund Your Freedom. This is where we have weekly one-on-one coaching sessions for 2 months so that you could have that crystal clear roadmap in funding your biggest dreams into reality. And then it will be followed by 3 months of community support. So you're gonna meet my fellow clients who are on the same journey as you so that we could root for each other, and you could also normalize your financial journey so that you could also normalize and celebrate your journey to funding your dreams. This is where my clients have completely paid off their 6-figure debts. This is where my clients have been able to double down on one income stream that they love doing. This is where they have pivoted in their business towards the niche or service that they actually love to do instead of pressured by society to do. This is where my clients have been able to travel more while at the same time stay on track with their emergency fund. This is where my clients have been able to overcome their deserve ko to mentality, now able to completely build their 6-figure emergency fund. More importantly, this is where I've seen my clients finally have that financial peace of mind because they have broken free from financial anxiety, from their shopping addiction, and just see them genuinely happy and fulfilled because they are finally pursuing the biggest dreams that they've always wanted for themselves. So if you want to end this year with sustainable money habits and systems, and with a financial roadmap in funding your biggest dreams and funding your next lifestyle milestone, then you can check out my website down below and how you can join my coaching program before this year ends, because I'm about to close enrollment very soon because I have a few spots left. And you can also read testimonials from my clients who have been successful at applying my systems, applying the roadmap that I was able to guide them with, and how they are now confident and excited to manage their finances because they are crystal clear on what they truly want, knowing that they are funding the real desires and dreams for themselves. I want to give a shout out to one of my clients who just graduated from my coaching program, who is Sam, because she has finally overcome her shopping addiction as a freelancer and mom. So I want to share what she shared. One of the most memorable and best decisions I made this year is jumping on Nik's program. Not only did I get the financial system I was looking for, Nik and I were able to unroot my limiting beliefs, increase my self-trust and self-worth, and finally find my money's home, my goals that will support who I am and give me lasting happiness. Before having one-on-one coaching with Nik, I wanted to be rigid with money, wanting to put 50% into my savings, demonize credit cards, and I felt someone needed to scold me to get a grip. I struggled with getting easily budoled. During Nik's coaching program, she was able to dig deep into my money beliefs and paradigms that were able to uncover why it was easy for me to cough up thousands of pesos on jewelry and stuff that didn't give me lasting happiness. Understanding my money habits and mindsets go way deeper than the usual financial advice like tracking spending, using 70-20-10 rule, and unsubscribing from shopping apps like Shopee and Lazada. She also provided me with a customized financial system and made it easy to do. Now I can definitely say money works for me, not the other way around. With my new system, I'm confident and excited to manage my money. I am now unbudled. I love that. I'm now unbudled, knowing to pause and have an honest conversation with myself before purchasing anything. I love sharing my client success stories because this gives you a picture that it's so possible for you as well. And truly, this became possible after just our weekly one-on-one coaching sessions, which is technically after 60 days. So this is what's possible when we work together in the first 60 days of the program. So if you're interested, check out my website down below on how to enroll. And to get inspired, you can watch this interview with my client who has overcome that deserve ko to mentality, now able to stay on track with their emergency fund while traveling with her family as a mom as well. Check that out. You're going to be so inspired.